Right now, live on 5, you're looking at the Cuyahoga County Administration Building, where the new executive cleaned house today. We're live with Who Got Pink Slips.
And Egypt's president ousted after 18 days of protests. He steps down. Our president says Egypt will never be the same. We have live pictures and a full report of this historic day.
And it's game on in Richmond Heights, but the coach that's led the team to an undefeated season so far won't be on the bench. We're live with continuing coverage of this controversy.
And weather-wise, get ready for a warm-up. I'll tell you how mild the temps will get coming up.
News Channel 5 on your side starts now.
First up tonight, 2 government shakeups across the globe. Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak gave in to pressure and announced finally he is stepping down.
And locally, Cuyahoga County cleaned house, and that's where we begin tonight as the county executive fired the directors of 4 different agencies. News Channel 5's Paul Kiska is live at the county administration building. And Paul, we understand those 4 jobs weren't the only ones on the chopping block.
No, 8 people lost their jobs today. 4 directors of big-time departments here in Cuyahoga County, and then 4 union workers as well. More on that in just a minute. But the 4 directors, well, some people consider them to be highly qualified in their positions. In fact, County Executive Ed Fitzgerald said that they did put in some good service. But here's a look at the 4 high-profile names in those 4 departments that were fired by Fitzgerald today as part of his house cleaning. He fired Deb Forkis, head of Children and Family Services, Coroner Frank Miller, Engineer Robert Claver, and Senior Services Director Susan Axelrod. Ed Fitzgerald said it's time for new leadership in Cuyahoga County.
This is going to continue to happen, not necessarily with this high profile of changes, but every single function of county government is going to be scrutinized and analyzed, and there's going to be a lot of consolidations, and that means there are going to be positions that are eliminated.
So there you go. County Executive Ed Fitzgerald said he's not done yet. He'll go department by department, see who stays, who goes. So more terminations are coming. Ken Lanty, who ran against Fitzgerald for that executive seat, told me by telephone a short time ago, quote, Fitzgerald is just getting rid of highly qualified people. He's not happy about this. Fitzgerald also laid off 4 maintenance workers because their union did not accept to take furloughs to help with budget cuts. So again, 4 maintenance workers laid off as well. More to do with budget cuts on that. Well, much more on this at 6 o'clock, including what some taxpayers, some Cuyahoga County residents are saying about these high-profile firings in county government. Reporting live from the Cuyahoga County Administration Building in downtown Cleveland, Paul Kiska, News Channel 5.
Now to live coverage in Egypt. It is midnight in Cairo, the end of an historic day for Egyptians and the rest of the world. President Hosni Mubarak stepped down after weeks of protesting. The move not only got cheers from the Egyptian people, but from the United States and Europe. And we'll have a complete report from Egypt straight ahead.
But first, though, over the past couple of weeks, we have been talking with a Cleveland State University student from Egypt who has been in close contact with his family, who is right in the middle of those protests.
News Channel 5's Bob Jones was with him as he called his brother while events unfolded in Egypt.
Well, Danita, Mo Albatar has called his brother a couple of times today. It's difficult for him to talk over all of the noise, but you don't need to have a conversation to grasp the magnitude of this historic day. On the campus of Cleveland State University this afternoon, 19-year-old Mo Albatar, a CSU student, put his brother in Egypt on speakerphone to capture the celebration in his homeland. Mo's brother was one of thousands who marched to the presidential palace calling for President Mubarak to resign. Today they got their wish.
It's a day of victory now in Egypt. There's just an overwhelming feeling of joy now that people, I can't even describe it.
Mo says the majority of people in Egypt considered Mubarak a dictator, and handing over the power to the military is what pro-democracy protesters wanted.
So the military now is in control. To be more specific, it's the Council of the Higher Military Officials who are in control right now.
Egypt is a U.S. ally in the Middle East, and Washington gives the Egyptian military $1.3 billion a year in aid. Mo hopes the U.S. will not not only support what Egyptians have decided, but continue to offer financial help as well.
Was this aid, the $1.3 billion, was it a pact with the government? Or was it a pact with the country?
Mo says he hopes to go to Egypt this summer to see family and friends and experience a whole new world.
You heard me saying I would just give anything and everything to be over there right now. People over there are writing history. They wrote history.
And tonight, Mo says the Egyptian community in Cleveland is planning a bus trip tomorrow morning. They're hoping to head to the Egyptian embassy in Washington, D.C., they say, to celebrate today's historical developments. Bob Jones, News Channel 5.
Scanning the sky with 5 live radars. This is your Power of 5 Doppler Network weather.
A full 10-degree difference in our temperatures today between yesterday afternoon at this time. 28 now downtown, Burke Lakefront sitting at 29, and we got a few flurries floating down across the region right now. They're not going to slow you down at all wherever you're going this evening. And again, a weak trough going by tonight, stirring up the clouds and these light little flurries. A lot of this not reaching the ground back toward northern Ashland County up into Lake and Geauga County, eastern Cuyahoga County. Still some snow off to the west that'll be moving in.